Infotainment Talk Radio, a podcast about vehicles. You love vehicles. We love vehicles. Let's talk. Infotainment Talk Radio with your hosts, Doug and Joel. Infotainment Talk Radio. Welcome back to Infotainment Talk Radio. I am Joel. Across the way over there is Doug. How do you do?
Doing well. How are you?
Hey, pretty good, man. It's been quite a while since we've been able to actually get together in here. Last time we were all in here was talking about a month ago, I guess, talking about Canada and some of the growth and expansion going on up there. So I know things have been busy for everybody all around. People across the nation are getting back into the flow of going into the office and going to work or quitting their job or whatever they're doing.
Yep.
They're getting back in the flow. They're getting back in that vehicle. They're driving around and they're wishing they had a better factory radio. Well, fortunately, Infotainment Talk Radio dedicates itself, thanks to our primary sponsor, Infotainment.com, to the modern infotainment system and maximizing the most of your vehicle's potential. And on this edition, we're talking about a much anticipated topic. Every year we do this. Upgrades are coming. The upgrades are coming. Summer edition is what we have on this particular edition of Infotainment Talk Radio. So that means we're going to cover the big three automakers here in the States, the CDJR or the FCA, the Fords, and the GM makes. All of those vehicles, I think, are getting a little something or another here as far as a new upgrade for some of the newer model vehicles. So that'll be great. Doug will take us through that whole entire list. Before we get to that, we are here in Florida and things are getting hot. Summer has begun. It's 21st of June, just past us here, and it's already getting super hot out there. And I will mention a guy I know. He bought a Jeep. And it's a later model Jeep. And I guess the Jeep has okay air, AC, or something like that. But it's something I guess you don't think about. When you have a Jeep in Florida, you leave it open, or does it have to have AC, or do you just go with the open air?
Yeah, well, a lot of Jeeps don't even come with AC. It's an option.
Yeah.
We've seen customers come to us and say, "Hey, can you guys add air conditioning?" Or like, well, I've never really looked into that. Maybe we can offer you some advice.
Yeah. Like a little portable AC they can hang out the side of their window. That'd be cool. Says infotainment right on. That'd be a little window. You could never do that. Anyway.
You had mentioned it's getting hot. Man, it really is. And usually here in Florida, for those of you who don't know, when it gets hot, there's thunderstorms right behind it.
Yeah.
So we've been getting hammered with storms lately.
Yeah, it's that daily rainy kind of a sequence happens pretty much every day. It just gets so hot, and then it eventually rains, and then it's pretty nice in the nighttime. It can be,
yeah.
But that's how and why it is Florida.
Yeah.
A lot of flowers and plants and vegetation depending on that water. So we're grateful to get it. But where was I going with that? Oh yeah, if you don't have AC in your vehicle, we feel bad for you. We were thinking of a solution, but it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, on this edition, we are going to talk about things that will work because Infotainment.com puts out these awesome plug-and-play factory upgrade kits for your vehicle. You take one vehicle in particular, like a Ram truck. There's about 4 or 5 different kits that you could do to that one Ram truck to make it the truck that you want.
Yep.
Maybe it didn't roll off the lot that way, but you can make it that way. Anyway, so on this edition, and maybe that's a good area to start with, Doug's going to take us through all of the upgrades that are going to be coming out, I believe, before the end of the year.
Yep.
So this is super exciting. Doug, why don't you, I don't have any intro music. Why? There's a fire that intern. Where?
No, there's a whole slew of upgrades we have. As you mentioned, last year, we did a Upgrades Are Coming edition, and we released a bunch of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And summer's where we really like to kick a lot of things off. So we're in our new building now, our new HQ, as Joel says, and now we're getting ready to get back down to the engineering table and reverse engineering and coming up with cool kits, plug and play. So as you mentioned, we're going to go ahead and get started with Ram, Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, FCA vehicles. So we'll start with the Ram truck specifically. So we came out with last year a plug-and-play LED headlight upgrade, 100% factory for the DT, which is the new body Ram 1500. The DJ is now going to follow suit. That's been a very popular request. Adding LED fog lights. A lot of the new body Ram trucks don't come with fog lights, the Tradesman and Bighorn trim levels. So we have a plug-and-play fog light upgrade, which is going to be releasing here real soon. In fact, we're going to shoot a video on both of those next week to show you step 1 to step 10 on how to get that to work.
And that's, not to cut you off, but that's a great thing about infotainment.com. What you see in the beginning is the video you can't believe, and then later when you're doing the kit, it becomes the video that guides you along the install process.
So we're real excited about that. We'll go from the front of the truck to the back. We're talking right now specifically the 2019 and up Ram truck, whether it's a 1500
new body or style. They put out
new body. Starting from the front, headlights, fog lights. We have front parking sensors and rear parking sensors, which is a great safety feature. That's ready to go. Again, we have a full installation video being released here real soon on that. Front camera factory that's coming out.
Oh, wow.
The top of the heavy duty trucks, those cab clearance lights, there are 5 amber colored lights, makes the truck look really, really cool, but then also a great safety feature, gives it more of like a commercial look. Having those amber lights. We just finished filming a video on how to install those. Again, 100% factory. Moving along the side of the truck, the side power folding mirrors. You do have the option now to not only do power folding mirrors, but you can also do embedded blind spot monitoring.
Wow.
360 camera. And then also it's a rear guidance light, which is a pretty cool feature starting in 19. You can, if you press the cargo lamp button on your instrument panel, it'll actually shine an LED behind the truck on the side.
Okay.
And it's real powerful. It's pretty cool.
So it's like almost like your own personal little spotlight.
Yeah, it's really
when
neat.
You're backing up.
Yeah. You have to press the button in order to activate it, but it certainly does put off a lot of light, so that's exciting.
That's kind of cool.
We actually just filmed the installation video of that yesterday afternoon, so you guys are going to love that. Continuing along the side of the Ram, the power running boards. That's been real big.
Where you
request.
step up into the thing? Serious?
You open the door and the running boards fold out automatically. It's an awesome.
That's pretty great.
Awesome upgrade that I think people are going to love. We're going to have another video on that. Continuing behind on the back of the cab, the third brake light. The cargo camera for the new body Ram Heavy Duty has been a huge request from folks wanting to add a cargo camera, be able to look at their bed while they're flying down the highway, or backing up to hook up a gooseneck for
and that new body. Yeah, they changed that camera style, right? So it's got to be a digital cam, and so that's
in fact,
exciting.
It gets a little complicated, but we make it real easy on the website for people to distinguish which one they need. There's analog and digital ones, so that's going to be exciting.
Cool.
The bed of the truck, LED bed lights, which is something we started to carry last year, which has been a great success for the 1500 trucks.
Like they light the inside of the bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's really convenient, especially if you have a tonneau cover or a cap. It lights it up real nice in the evening, and we have a full tutorial video. We've already shot that.
Yeah.
That's great. Blind spot monitoring, as I mentioned, if you do choose to do blind spot monitoring, you can upgrade to the LED taillights, which have a really cool signature lighting design.
To match the headlights.
Yep.
Because you already got those.
It's really cool. And then I mentioned before the rear parking sensor.
It makes it look like a totally different truck all the way around now.
Yeah, if you go and you buy a Tradesman or a Bighorn, trucks are expensive now, right? So you want to buy a base model truck, you're talking $40,000, $45,000. Back in the day, you're spending $20,000, $25,000. So you're going to go shell out $40,000, $45,000. You're going to want a bunch of options. But hey, if you want all those options, you got to pay $60,000. You got to pay $65,000. You know. So what's great about infotainment is we understand that. We know that people want just this or that. They don't want to have to upgrade to all these different levels within the trim package.
You'd love to be able to do everything all at once as well.
Yeah.
You get like 3 kits and do it all in a couple of days or
Exactly.
whatever it'd be. That'd be great. But sometimes even if you can't do that, then the point of this is get 1 kit, start here, then do it over time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So going into the inside of the Ram truck, we have the digital cluster. We've carried that for a little bit now. It's great to be able to those of you who have a diesel, look at your boost pressure. You can look at if you're towing something, you can look at your tranny temp, your oil temp, all on digital gauges.
Yeah, it's a factory digital cluster.
And it lights up at night, and it's such a cool upgrade just to have a digital cluster in the truck while you drive. So that's coming out. Well, that's out already. But we are releasing a full tutorial video for the heavy duty, which we just finished up the other day. It's
a little bit different.
A little bit different. Yep, they look the same, but there's a little bit differences, as I mentioned, with the diesel and stuff like that. So we kind of get into it in the video, which explains it. Steering wheel controls, another huge item that everyone wants for the heavy duty. So your tradesmen's, bighorns, a lot of them don't have steering wheel mounted audio controls.
Really?
Yep. And we've carried that for the 4th gen Ram, the 13 to 18. It's been a great success, but we now have a kit for the 19 and up heavy duty, which is great.
Yeah,
full
that is.
video. We got that done the other day.
I mean, because of that alone, Doug, is the greatest safety feature. And that's why I love talking about infotainment.com and infotainment stuff all the time. Because it's like, it really does. Well, you think about that one little tiny thing as a safety feature. It really gives you, a lot more flexibility than having to reach over and change something physically. I'm right here. I'm the driver. I'm changing stuff with these volume controls, and especially on the bigger trucks. I don't know why they wouldn't put that in there just to, okay, you don't need to drive this vehicle as safe as possible. Anyway, not to sidetrack it, but that's the exact example of what I think is awesome.
It not only a safety thing, but when we bought a 2019 Ram heavy duty diesel, and we bought it strictly to do upgrades on it, to do reverse engineering, to figure out upgrades. And when I first drove it, I'm like, man, I just really miss not being able to change the volume. From a convenience standpoint, it's just
that's a great point.
It's great. Going on from there, just other things that you wouldn't even think of, like the driver visor. It doesn't have a mirror in it. It doesn't have a vanity light. It doesn't have the HomeLink garage door opener. We have a kit which will allow you to do that. The rear view mirror is just the old style mirror with the little manual tilt knob on the bottom. We now have the auto dim mirror, plug and play. Electronic trailer brake control is another really big one. Those of you who love to tow, you bought your truck, you forgot to add that option. You don't want to add an aftermarket one, just add the factory one. It's all plug and play.
It's easy.
So that's another one. We've been carrying the cat skin leather interior for the truck for a while.
I'll tell you what, since you talk about that, the look of the cat skin leather inside of a truck, you roll off the lot with cloth, and then you put one of those leather kits in there, and because it is the front seat and the back seats, it's the entirety. When you go into that cabin again and that leather is in there, it looks like a brand new truck. I don't know. I guess it must help, like people who do real estate and they remodel a house or something on the inside and the outside. That's what it feels like. It really does. Like you got wood floors in your truck almost.
Yeah. No, I think you hit the nail on the head. When you first get in the truck, there's certainly a lot of conveniences and features you can add, but just getting into a truck and having leather, and not just cheapo leather, having good quality leather in the truck, it makes a heck of a difference. So we do that to all of our builds, and you guys will notice if you follow our YouTube page, we're putting a big emphasis on builds. So we're going to be able to get trucks in and sports cars and SUVs and just say, listen, there's 8 different things we can do to this car. We're going to show you all 8 things in a video series. and be able to offer it on the website. And
it's very comprehensive.
Yeah.
I mean, plus, too, you can kind of pick and choose as you go. If you see the Mustang, you're like, yeah, I got that 4-inch. And you go to the 8-inch with the kit, and then you wait half a year, and then you go to the cluster. That's nothing wrong with that. You could do it slowly like that, or you get a brand new vehicle and you get all the 3 or 4 kits at one fell swoop. Yeah. I mean, that's what is cool about the infotainment builds that they have featured on the infotainment.com site.
And the other thing that's great about it too, a lot of times people will try things on their own and they get lost, and you can call any of the sales staff initially when you go to buy, ask them any question you want. These guys are a wealth of knowledge. They'll get you set up. And then after you get the product, if you need support, you never want to buy something and just not be able to get the answers to your questions. We have a full team of people that do nothing but help people after the sale. So we cover it in the front end and the back end. So we want to make sure that everyone has the information they need to do all these upgrades.
Right along with the DIY culture, just to add that in there, the knowledge base and the videos, highly comprehensive. So if you're not a techie person, you don't like to go online and see that stuff, you can have someone who's maybe more gifted along those lines help you pop up the video, press pause for you. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's a good bonding exercise between generational grandfather and son or daughter or whatever, because women too, they have an interest in mechanics. There's nothing stopping. We have plenty of customers that are female that do these upgrades
a lot,
and that is what's cool, is that it is made for everyone. Now, we don't suggest you get your 12-year-old kid out there per se, but it is good for them to observe and maybe help where they can and understand how you're doing what you're doing, because I'll tell you, just throughout life in general, it's good to have a critical thinking type of a mindset and be able to follow directions. Big part of successful people's recipe there.
Yep.
Anyway, so back to the Ram truck. We're still in the Ram truck. This is the new body. These are the upgrades that are coming out here before the end of the year.
Yep. I just wanted to throw out a couple more things on the Ram truck. Now, this isn't everything, guys. I mean, we have so much stuff in so many irons in the fire right now. But I wanted to mention 2 other things. Number one, with your factory radio, I mean, we offer every single one. We've offered them already for probably the last year or 2. But we're going to introduce another one, which makes it really easy. It's a navigation system that you can install, plug and play, without having to add a bunch of extra parts and stuff like that. And that's the UAQ system. That's something we're going to provide for the new body Ram trucks. Yep.
Really?
Yep. It utilizes the digital rear view camera. It fits perfectly.
So this is like a CrossFit.
Yep.
No, wait, that's an exercise.
Yeah.
I don't have a kettlebell or anything, but it's like CrossFit.
Yeah.
You're crossing models to bring what was for a classic 1819 into a 1920. So if you do like that, that's pretty cool. That was who built those heads? Panasonic, I think, for
Panasonic,
Chrysler. Those are Panasonic head units.
Yeah, it's a real easy, convenient way to upgrade to Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, built-in GPS, HD radio, all of that. And we'll show you how to do it. So that's
cool.
that. And then the last thing I wanted to point out for the Ram before I move into Jeep real quick is the audio. So we've been asked for years by customers, hey, I want to upgrade my audio. And it's not like the old days where they want to put 412s in the back and, tweeters and all. They just said, I just want it to sound a little better, And we're going to be able to provide, we're partnering with another company in California that has a really, really good product that meets our expectations of a DIY culture, plug and play, no wire cutting and splicing. They fit that mold perfectly. So we're partnering with them on several different audio upgrades for not just the Ram, but the Wrangler, the Tacoma, the Mustang, so on and so forth. So expect to see more information on audio upgrades on our website. So Ram being one of them. So lot of stuff
coming out. So these are kind of like
Ram.
more crossover stuff. It sounds like you're using them to make custom little molds, maybe, or what have you.
Well, everything that they design is all factory fit and plug and play. You know, so when
but you were talking about sound increase. Okay, so it's
so
plug-and-play type
speakers,
of amp
subwoofers,
or speakers. Oh, that's cool.
And there's not going to be any wires showing. It's just really, really seamless. That's
cool. Oh, I can't wait to.
It's very neat. I think you guys will be really impressed with the product.
So, excuse me. So that sound of me accidentally brushing it up against the microphone means that we're switching the vehicle make, I guess. So, what do you want to go over to? The Ford, the GM?
I'm going to jump into Jeep just real briefly.
Oh, that's right. We're still in the model transition. All right.
Yeah, I'll jump into Jeep. So Wrangler and Gladiator have been...
Those are huge.
I mean, they have been such a great success for us at infotainment, but customers always want more, not just the infotainment systems themselves, being able to provide people with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation, all of that, but we're also going to be able to offer digital clusters for the Wrangler Sport. So if you have the Sport, not the Sport S, but if you have the Sport, you'll be able to upgrade the cluster to a digital cluster. It gives you more gauges and more customization. We've carried leather for a bit now. We're going to have a full video on how to do that. Trailer brake control. Those of you who want to add a trailer brake control to your Gladiator or your Wrangler will have that.
That's cool. The temperature, that's out there now.
Yep. We have the automatic temperature control kit. LED headlights with the signature lighting. That's going to be a great upgrade. Really enhance the front of your Jeep to mimic the Rubicon.
Oh, wow.
Blind spot monitoring, front and rear parking
huge.
Sensors. There's just a lot of cool safety things coming out for the Wrangler as well. You know, a lot of kids, if you ask kids nowadays, you know, hey, what do you want to get when you turn 16? I want to get a Jeep Wrangler. You know,
the most expensive truck as possible. Then I want $10,000 in upgrades.
Yep. So if you happen to get your kid a Jeep, you're going to want to get a cheaper one, obviously, but you're going to want to have safety features, right? You're going to want to have those parking sensors. You're going to want to have blind spot monitoring, all that stuff. And not just for the new body Jeep, but the older Jeep as well, having a backup camera in situations like that. So make it safe.
And that's a tip to the novice, too. 2018, just like the Ram truck, they changed the body type. So a 19 Jeep and up are the newer, more current ones where these kind of upgrades would be more applicable along safety lines. Anything before 18, we've got great factory radios ready to go, but just to the so if you're getting a vehicle for your kid, it's like, hey, maybe it's a 19 base model Wrangler.
Yeah.
Not the S, but even a Sport, but not
even the Sport S, it's not stripped by any means, but there's still a lot of safety features that you can add, you know?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. You know, again, there's a lot of cool things coming, like the Ram, the audio upgrade. That's going to be there for the Jeep as well, a full audio upgrade. I think you guys would love that as well, so we'll have a video on that.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. So we covered a lot of stuff there with just two models, Ram and Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
So now, maybe for some of the other models under the FCA, there's some other stuff coming as well. So the sports car lovers, look, Challenger, Charger stuff, luxury 300. What I saw the other Jeep Grand Cherokee. Those things are phenomenal vehicles, and one of the kits that's currently out there is a way to take a 16, let's say, or 17, and put a system from a 2021 in there. You talked about a little bit about how the UAQ would be able to go into different types of, now is it Jeep also or Ram also, or? Yeah,
so we're getting really good with the infotainment systems now, where you can put them in different models and be able to mimic the exact same CAN signals and scenarios where these things will power up, and you can put them in different vehicles. So as you're saying with the Grand Cherokee, another great vehicle. We've had a lot of success with that particular brand as well, or trim. The Grand Cherokee, Laredo, and the Limited, being able to give them the 8.4-inch radio, or even the new 2021, which is the UAV option code, which gives you that nice piano black instrument panel bezel and the HD screen, built-in navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It really, really makes the Jeep stand out when you're driving it.
Yeah. And it personalizes it, too. Gives you what you want. It gives you the vehicle you want.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
sometimes it's, I'm totally happy with the exterior look of the vehicle, but the interior, not so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's what infotainment.com is all about. So quickly moving over now, we're getting out of the CDJR world and moving into Ford.
Yep.
So Ford has got a lot of, going to start with the truck, the F-150, most popular truck in the country, world, perhaps.
Yeah, so I'll jump into the F-150 and the Bronco specifically. We've always carried some really cool stuff for the Mustang. If you guys own a Mustang, definitely check us out. We got a bunch of really cool stuff already available.
And there's
the
a build. Yeah, the Mustang build, the infotainment build on the Mustang.
Yeah, we did a full build on a white Mustang GT base model. We added a bunch of really cool stuff to a digital cluster, Sync 3, GPS navigation, and satellite radio, HD radio, all sorts of cool stuff. So check that out. For the F-150, the new body, so we were like one of the first back in January to reserve the brand new F-150. We got an XL stripped down model, and we have already done so much to it, preparing for this summer's release. Going from the 8-inch sync system to the 12-inch.
Yeah.
So we figured that out. That is just incredible. The cluster, going from the smaller screen cluster all the way to the complete full digital cluster in the F-150. The graphics are incredible.
Insane.
Just an amazing thing.
Is it like the Mustang cluster? You can kind of control the different color modes
and
things like that?
Yeah, it's neat. It's really neat. The wireless charger for your phone. We figured that out. We got that ready to go. What about the gear shifter? So a lot of you have the column shifter, behind your steering wheel. We can effectively take that shifter and put it in the center console for those of you who have one, and it's motorized. So it comes in and out of the console when you go to start the truck. It's
so cool.
It's so cool. We have videos on it on our YouTube page already. You have to check that out. But we're actively working on power folding mirrors, blind spot monitoring,
well,
LED
for the F-150,
headlights,
that's insane.
Yeah, there's just so much, and we're really excited about the F-150, the new body, because all of the Fords that are built after this F-150, when they change to the new body, whatever it is, they're all going to mimic the architecture of the F-150.
Oh, really? All the big, even like a SUV type of thing? Or?
Yeah, well, going
like
back
trucks.
to the CAN bus and the wiring and the communication protocols and the equipment,
so
once
good.
we've kind of, quote unquote, mastered the F-150 architecture, you'll see that in the new Escape, the new Edge, the new Explorer. So we've already got such a big jump start on the F-150. And that brings me to the Bronco. The Bronco's right around the corner. That's
cool
going to be
that
out.
They're bringing that back. I guess a mixed bag. People are all kind of left or right on it, maybe.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool. I love when brands do that.
Yeah.
Bring back a beloved brand with new kind of look and feel. So Bronco. Okay, so this is much acclaimed. I don't think you can even pre-order one now.
Yeah,
they're like a back order list. You can't even get your hands on one these days.
Yeah. Well, they have
to rent.
They have the two Broncos, right? So they have the Bronco Sport, which they released initially. And that's, if you compare it to Jeep, it's almost like a Jeep Compass,
Right.
It's not a Wrangler. It's more of like a Jeep Compass. It's an economical SUV. When the official Bronco is released here real soon, it's going to basically rival the Wrangler, and that's the one where you're going to be able to customize it like crazy. So, obviously we don't have one yet, but we already know that, as I mentioned earlier, the architecture for the F-150 is going to mimic the exact same thing in the Bronco. So we've already figured out the 12-inch. We've already figured out the cluster. All of that stuff is going to be nearly the same, just different parts. So we're effectively going to be able to release those a lot quicker because we already have kind of the fundamental
skeleton
background.
Yeah,
exactly.
A map.
So those two vehicles in particular
huge
for
alone.
21 are a big focus of ours. We
What are
do
these?
this
Mustang. The Mach-E, I see those all around.
Yeah, the Mach-E is pretty cool. It's we actually had our marketing team go out to a local dealer to kind of do a full overview of the Mach-E. We had great partners of ours over at Greenway Ford. They had a salesman kind of run us through the whole thing. We got it on our YouTube channel if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, the Mach-E is incredible. The new Super Duty that's about to come out, it's going to have the 12-inch screen, but they're keeping the existing dash. So you better believe that's something we're going to look into, being able to put a 12-inch in a Super Duty, So
yeah, that's, not unheard of, but it's unheard of.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you can't roll off the lot that way with a Super Duty, right? Unless you've got the big. Yeah. Those trucks are like a six figures.
Oh my gosh, it's incredible in those things. And people buy them.
People buy them.
But yeah. So we're real excited about all that stuff, and you guys just kind of stay tuned to our website, stay tuned to our YouTube channel. It's a lot of these releases will be on there.
So, all right, good deal. So we kind of blew through Ford there pretty quick, but you get the idea. We've got GM and the imports, Toyota, Nissan, coming up here in just a second. Right now, let's get over to a quick breakaway. It's Infotainment Talk Radio. In 1665, following an outbreak of the bubonic plague in England, Cambridge University closed its doors, forcing Isaac Newton to return home to Woolsthorpe Manor. While sitting in the garden there one day, he saw an apple fall from a tree, providing him with the inspiration to eventually formulate the laws of universal gravitation. Got some extra time on your hands? Discover your vehicle's potential. Do the research. Ask the experts. Infotainment.com is over a decade old and specializes in plug-and-play factory radio upgrades, touchscreen factory navigation radios, or retrofit kits to add more current safety features like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, all while keeping the car or truck you already love. It's Infotainment.com. Discover your vehicle's potential. There it is, Infotainment.com. Discover your vehicle's potential and make that discovery on your own, in your own time. A lot of people over the last year did discover Infotainment.com, and that just meant that a whole lot of families are driving around a heck of a lot safer now. And whether it's a business vehicle, whether it's a family vehicle, whether it's a vehicle that you love that you're going to go ahead and give to a child that you love, Infotainment.com helps you to add factory safety features in an easy plug-and-play way. It's Infotainment.com. Anyway, I'm sitting here with Doug, the founder of Infotainment.com. We do this Infotainment Talk Radio. Try not to do too many commercials for ourselves, but talk about things that people want to hear about. And one of those things annually is of great interest to a lot of our customers and other folks across the globe. It is the upgrades that are coming. So this is our Upgrades Are Coming Summer Edition. We just blew through a bunch of stuff for CDJR, predominantly Ram and Jeep, and then Ford, predominantly F-150 Super Duties and Broncos coming out. And now we're going to move into GM Toyota.
Yeah, before I jump into there, you had mentioned, a lot of people have found us the last year. It's been incredible, the amount of outpouring of support and people who are interested in our products, not just here in the USA, but also our Canada store. We do have a store in Canada out of Toronto, infotainment.ca. Real exciting opportunity there for people to connect with our Canada team, as well as, us really helping people all over the world, Europe, the Middle East, Australia, you name it.
Yeah, I will say that's a good point, too. The global upgrades you can do. Some folks, if they're serving in the military and they're on a base and they brought their Mustang.
Sure.
It happens more than once, way more than once. It's pretty frequent. Like people will go over there and then they'll say, hey, I want to upgrade this thing, or hey, I want to buy this for when I come back, or whatever it is. But there's a lot of communication that happens at infotainment.com to ask about global. Will this vehicle, work for my vehicle? Here's my VIN. So the team over there can run it and kind of see where the origin of your vehicle, comes from. And if it is regional, we want to get your regional gear.
Yeah.
If it is, an import, we would, okay, this will work, but you're going to lose this feature, as it were, right? So a lot of attention to detail placed into those global orders, and a conversation is offered up at no charge, of course, to you or anyone. That free chat or phone calls.
Yep. Online chat, those of you who, maybe have broken English, but you can chat, is a great way to connect with us.
It's a great point, Doug. Yeah, it's the chat translates on our site. So if you're apprehensive because you're like, hey, I can't hold a conversation, but I need these answers. Sure. Great point.
Yeah.
You can get it translated right on.
So a lot of these upgrades that I'm talking about today, I just wanted to throw out before I jump into GM that, they are cross-compatible. It's not just for the USA. If you're in Canada, we can help you. If you're in the Middle East or you're in Germany, wherever, this all works in those particular vehicles.
Reach out to us.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. The communication, having the open lines of communications for our global customers, infotainment.com. That's a good thing. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yep.
All right, so let's get into GM. What do you got?
General
cooking?
Motors. So
Silverado, Sierra.
Those are the big ones. They've always been big ones for us. We've offered several different things the last 2 or 3 years. We're talking about the 2019 and up new body Silverado and Sierra. One thing we're going to release here within the next couple of weeks is those of you who have the IOR option code infotainment system and want to go to an IOU option code. It's a larger display, built-in navigation, built-in HD radio, satellite radio, digital rear view camera. We designed a plug-and-play kit to go from that IOR system to the option code IOU, it's going to be incredible. We've had a lot of customers ask for that. Yeah,
there's been a lot of interest and a lot of work put into it, and a little bit of an outage. Yep. Of production. But you're saying it's coming along? It's coming out?
It's coming along. The harnessing was the big one. As Joel mentioned, we want to make everything plug and play. Even if it's just, okay, repin these 4 wires from this connector to that connector, we don't want to do that. We will just say, let's get mating connectors. Even though they're hard to find and they're hard to come by, we're going to get mating connectors to make it 100% plug and play. So that's been a big holdup for that specific project. But everything's been done. The prototype's been approved, and the production harnesses.
That'll be a big deal for people here. Because if you don't know, the IOR is like the good out of the good, better, best. So it's like on the bottom.
Yeah.
And the IOU is just the best you could have for that truck.
So if you have a high country, or not if you have one, but if you'd like the system that's in a high country or a Denali, that you'll be able to put into your lower trim level.
Analogy, yeah.
So moving on from that, that's exciting. We have the digital cluster. That's been a great upgrade. We've been carrying that for a little bit now. We're really going to put a big emphasis on those this summer. Leather seating, of course, all of our major vehicles, we do carry the leather seating kits for it. We are going to start branching out more from the infotainment. We like to get into safety. We like to get into to other avenues. So fog light kit we'll have available here real soon for the Silverado Sierra, the bed lights, the bed LED lights.
Wow.
The cab clearance lights for the heavy duties will be coming out here real soon, plug and play.
Wow, that's great.
Those of you who have the multi-pro tailgate, we're going to have a kicker sound system that you can put in those. Yeah, that's going to be pretty neat. It's actually a GM accessory. We're going to show you guys how to install it and how it all works and stuff. It's pretty cool.
So it's, say it again, it's a whole system for the tailgate? So it's like for
so
literally
the new General Motors and the heavy duty, well, actually the 1500 and heavy duty, they have an option for the multi-pro tailgate setup, which opens up 7 different ways and all these different things. But just in time for football season and tailgating, we're going to have a kicker sound system that installs in the tailgate. Really awesome. Cool. I saw it as a GM accessory several months ago, and I'm like, I am going to get one of those, and I'm going to install it for everybody so they can see how this thing works.
That's insane.
Because the reviews are really cool. And then there's also an option where you can add some LED lighting in there as well. So just in time for football season.
No jacuzzi yet? Yeah. What the hell? Oh, I'm sorry. What the heck? Wow.
No, I think
we're going to add a jacuzzi. Yeah. You could hire a DJ.
But another big one is the rear view camera mirror. So a lot of you have seen them commercials or at the local dealer where your rear view camera is actually a mirror.
It's pretty sophisticated technology. It's a mirror, but also a camera.
Yeah, so basically for the pickup trucks, the full-size trucks, they have an additional camera in the third brake light, and it's pointed back, to the back of the truck, and it takes an image and it puts it in your rear view mirror, which gives you full 180-degree view of what's going on. Crystal clear digital camera. It's incredible. And traditionally, obviously, with regular rear view mirrors, you're looking through your back seat, through the back window to see what's going on behind the truck, where the rear view camera mirror just gives that to you.
Perfect field of view.
Yeah, it's a great safety feature, too. So we're bringing that not only to the pickup trucks, but we're also in the R&D stages of the Tahoe and the Yukon. So, again, another really cool upgrade there. So much more coming for GM trucks. I just want to briefly jump into just some of the bigger ones that are coming.
So probably, and too, a lot of the same things like you spoke about for the F-150, for the Ram truck, a lot of those coming trickling down the way, probably.
Sure. They're about to do a refresh. The 1500 Silverado and Sierra is going to go through a refresh for 2022.
Oh, so they're changing it again.
So you'll notice on the Tahoes and the Yukons, they have a larger center stack, larger infotainment system. The dash is a little bit different. So the new Silverado and Sierra 1500 in 2022 is going to mimic that. So so the upgrades we're talking about are really for the 19 to 21. The 22 is going to be completely different. And then the 2023, the heavy duties will mimic the 2022 1500.
Big, lavish.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you think about it from General Motors standpoint, they're kind of falling behind because, the Ram in 2019 came out with a 12-inch system, which we've sold a lot of those 12-inch systems.
I think the last few years they've won number one Ram truck.
Three years in a row.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, the F-150 jumped into the whole 12-inch infotainment system. So GM's slowly coming from behind, so they got to put something out that's
crazy because they were kind of first to the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. A lot of their vehicles had it, rolling out the line like that.
2016,
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, that makes a lot of sense though. So eventually, then where those systems, retrofitting across different types of vehicles, specific model year criteria. Of course, as we know, the automakers change things every few years, just to keep everybody confused. But no, they change things every, a few years just to keep, their systems going. But yeah, that's what Doug's saying. In this iteration, they're expecting to have that bigger, more beautiful, infotainment system. And, each of the vehicles too, you can see the distinct work that the engineers clearly have done on the visual aesthetic of the front of the truck. Yeah. There's a big push to have this real signature look on the grill.
Yeah. I think GM really hit the nail on the head with their AT4, the AT4 and the Denali. The front end of those trucks just look incredible.
Yeah, or like some of those Cadillac, brands with those massive, impressive kind of grills and almost a V. Yeah. Like, are you waiting to go onto the set of Mad Max? Yeah. Beyond COVID Dome. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, I am Joel, Infotainment.com, sitting with Doug, founder of Infotainment.com, and this is Infotainment Talk Radio. We're talking about a bunch of upgrades that are upcoming. This is our upgrades are coming, summer edition. My battery is now about to say goodbye. So before that happens, we may have a little bit of info on some Toyota stuff. Any Toyota, Nissan stuff happening? You want to
really just Toyota, the Tacoma, continuing to put out better and more upgrades for the Tacoma, specifically the audio upgrades. We have a great audio upgrade coming out for the Tacoma. The Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, power folding mirrors is another option that's coming for that.
Oh, really?
Real soon. Yep. So we're real excited about that as well.
Awesome. So go check out infotainment.com. All this stuff is going to be releasing from that site before the end of the year, so things will slowly trickle out, as you'll see. Always go to infotainment.com. There are product request forms, so if you have a great idea for something, feel free to let us know. Go to infotainment.com, scroll down to the bottom of the page, select forms, and right there about in the middle of the forms, you should see product request forms. So select that and give us all your information of what you're looking for. Word on the street reporters, we appreciate you. Not to wrap things up too quickly or prematurely, but like I said, I am dealing with a loss of power issue on my recording device here, so I am going to say that we should shut this thing down here. We'll roll to another original bit, but Doug, anything closing in closing?
Yeah, I think I just want to reiterate, it's not just for the U.S., guys. We help Canadians, our neighbors to the north. We help anyone in Europe,
Global.
South America. I mean,
South
we help
America,
you guys all. So
Africa, UK, Australia.
If you've imported an American vehicle and you're trying to convert it to make sure that it's going to work in your country from a left to a right, and you have questions as far as the infotainment system and the speedometer and stuff like that, we can help you guys. So don't forget us.
Yeah, don't
we're here
hesitate to communicate. Listen to me. One more one more word that rhymes, and I'm going to get a record deal. Anyway, we appreciate again. We are open to questions. Doug at Infotainment. What's your handle on Instagram? The company's handle?
Infotainment_com, I believe.
Oh, okay. Infotainment.com, I think it is on Twitter, but just go search social media. The actual website will link you up to all of the social sites. Anyway, all right, enjoy this little bit here. Have a great day. Stay safe this summer. We've got a bunch more of Infotainment Talk Radio content coming at you this summer. Bye. Driving in a vehicle without a working radio can be a painful experience. That long commute is now a miserable trip. At infotainment.com, we merge nav repair services, and now you can repair, replace as an easy-to-select and purchase product on our website. So now, shorten the time you have to drive without a factory radio in your vehicle. Repair, replace your factory radio with nav repair services at infotainment.com. Ford, GM, Chevy, Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, Ram, plug-and-play factory radio repair, replace, or upgrade. Infotainment.com, your one-stop shop for factory radio solutions.